create their own puzzles. Did anybody want to show me a puzzle that they created last week? Did anybody do that? I was hoping you guys were going to create lots of different puzzles. Brennan, go for it.
Well, I was up in the middle of the night till like 10. So I made my mom a puzzle.
Wow. What were the dimensions of your puzzle?
Well,
was it a 4x4 or a 5x5? What were the dimensions?
It was like a 4x4.
Cool. And then was your mom able to solve it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. How about you, Tess, Aaron, Jeremy, Sabrina? Did you guys get to do it? Great, great. So Tess, who did you give your puzzle to?
My mom.
Cool, cool. Now you guys, you could publish a book. Do you realize that? You could publish a book of puzzles. Anyway, what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you another puzzle that I love very, very much. And I want everybody to go to page 1 in their packet. And let's see. Oops, oh, I see. Hold on. And yep, page 1 of your packet. Now, if you go to page 1 of your packet, you will see, and I made a little mistake, so you guys have to fix this mistake. I lettered all the rows and I numbered the columns. Do you see how I numbered the columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Yes? And do you see how I numbered the rows A, B, C, and then I skipped a row by accident? So put a D right there. And then the next row is actually an E. And then the next row is an F. And that was just a little mistake that I made, but I wanted to make sure we change it. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question to see if you can identify the rows. Are you ready? So everybody look at the screen. Everybody look at the screen. Who can identify this square right here? And you have to name it with the letter followed by the number. Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
B2.
Excellent. Now, how about that one?
A6.
A6. I'm going to call on somebody now and see. So Sabrina, go.
3C.
And we always say letter first. So
C3.
excellent. Jeremy, are you ready? Jeremy?
E5.
Great. And Brennan?
F1.
And am I forgetting anybody else here? Or did I get everybody else? We only have 3 today. Okay, 4. Tess, did I miss you? Tess, let's do that one right there.
D4.
Excellent, excellent. So now I'm going to teach you the rules of this game. We are only allowed to use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you please write those numbers along, somewhere on your page? Because those are the only numbers that can go in a square. All right. Now, there's a couple of really important rules. Let's say you're working on this row right here. you cannot repeat a digit in a row. And Jeremy, I can't really see you. If you can maybe move the computer or move yourself, either one's fine. So for instance, you can't put 2, 2, and 2 in here because 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. You're not allowed to do that because that's a repeat. However, let's say you did put, I don't know, 1 plus 2 plus 3 here. Here, you could still put 3 plus 1, even though it seems to be 2 3s and 2 1s on the same row. You're allowed to do that because they're part of what? They're separated. They're different sets, but don't put those numbers in. Don't put those numbers in because this is just an example. Now, can I ask you a question? If you're looking at this set of 2 squares, A1 and A2, can you tell me what numbers can't go there? They do add up to 16, but we're not allowed to do it. Tess, you have to unmute yourself and I'll call on you. Keep yourself unmuted. Go for it, Tess.
10 and 6.
8 plus 6 is 14. 8 plus 6 is 14. That's not 16. Think about it again, Tess.
I said 10 and 6.
Oh, yes. You're not allowed to have a 10 because there's no 10. But there's another one just with the numbers that are here. Brennan?
9 and 7.
What's wrong with that? We're
Uh,
talking about ones you can't do. Sabrina? It's
I don't
number
really know one.
Say again?
I don't really know one.
All right, Jeremy?
11 and 5.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as 10 and 6. So, oh, hi, Aaron. Good to see you again. So, I'm looking at numbers that we do have, like 1 through 9, that we're not allowed to use. Aaron, do you see it? What numbers are we not allowed to use here? Because there would be a repeat. You guys know that 8 plus 8 is 16, right? And we're not allowed to use that. So what is the only pair of numbers that we would be allowed to use to make 16? Look at these numbers. You have to add them. And are you guys working this? Jeremy, you working this? Aaron? And Tess, Tess, oh, there you are. Good. All right, Aaron, go.
9 and 7.
Right, and Aaron, I want you to raise your hand. I want you to raise your hand. So 9 and 7, but guess what? We don't know if it's 9 and 7 or 7 and 9. So write a little 9 and 7 and a little 7 and 9. Don't write it too hard because you're definitely going to be erasing it. Also, Tess, could you change your name back to Tess? And can you unmute yourself? Both things you have to do. You have to name yourself who you are, and you have to unmute yourself. Unless, of course, there's a rock band playing in the background. Unless it's a rock band that I like. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If it's a 9, what number is going to have to go here to make this, but also to make 10? So it's going to have to make 10. 9 plus what, guys? Go.
1.
1. And if we use the 7, then what will have to go here?
3.
Sabrina, 3. Good. Now, if we use the 1 here, what has to be used in B2? Go, say it.
7. 7.
Why did you repeat 7? You know that 7 plus 1 does not equal 4.
3.
Of course, it's got to be 3. I want you guys to answer independently. If this is a 3, what has to go in B2?
1.
Exactly. But we don't know yet. Now we're about to find out. We need to make 17 in this column. What is the only way to make 17? That's going to tell us our answer. Can it be 7 and 3 or 9 and 1? And I'm going to call on Brennan now.
It would be 7 plus 9 plus 1.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to have a 9 here. You can't have a 9 here because that's got to be a 4. We just determined this has got to be a 3 or a 1. If A2 is a 7, then B2 is a 3. If A2 is a 9, then B2 is a 1. Which one does it have to be, Aaron? And Sabrina, I want you to be thinking, you've already got 10 here. What number has to go here? Come on, you know what number has to go here. Go, Tess.
7.
Tell us why. Guys, isn't 7 plus 3 10?
Yeah.
And isn't 9 plus 1 10? So no matter what you do, you're going to have 10. And 10 plus 7 is?
17.
17.
So guess what? If this is a 7, which one do we know it can't be? And which one does it have to be? Jeremy?
9 and 1.
Of course. You see, it can't be 7 and 3 because there's already a 7. So it's got to be a 9, 1, which is really cool. Now, guess what? If this is a 9, 1, you know what A1 has to be and B1. What does A1 and B1 have to be? Go for it. Say it if you've got it.
7, 3.
So
7 and 3.
now, Sabrina, could you tell me why this must be a 7?
Because there's already a 9 in the other one.
That's exactly right. And if this is a 7, we need to make 10. 7 and 3 is already there. That's it. So that's it. 7 and 3. Wow. That was really well done. Now, the next one, guys, that we should be focused on is the 17. There is only one combination of two numbers that would add up to 17. But whatever you say, you have to say both of them because we don't know what order yet. So I want Sabrina, Jeremy, and Aaron, I want you guys writing this down. I know that Brennan and Tess have their hand up. And Aaron, the only way you're going to get this is if you write it down. And I'm going to call on Brennan here for the pair of numbers is?
9 and 8 or 8 and 1.
9 and 8 or?
8 and 1.
Not 8 and 1.
8 and 9. Sorry.
8 and 9. Now oh, wait a minute. Who can tell me which one it has to be? Don't say it out loud. Aaron, do you see it? Which one does it have to be? And you need to be looking at that group, F1 and F2, in order to tell me what it has to be. Aaron,
It-
say it, buddy.
If you do a 9, it'll just be next to another 9. So it's
Yeah, but why is it that you're not allowed to make F1 a 9? Why is F1 not allowed to be a 9?
because it's next to another 9.
But why is that? What does that mean? You need a number that is small, say it, smaller than 9. So it has to be 8. So everybody say it out loud, top down, go.
9 and 8.
It must be 9, 8. It must be 9, 8. And that's the only way to do it. Now, if that's 9, 8, Sabrina, what is F2?
8 and 1.
Say again.
8 and 1.
8. So F2 is 1. And Jeremy, what is E2?
8.
And now everybody try to find E3. Everybody try to find E3. You know we need 24. And we already have 9 plus 8, which you know is 17. So 17 plus what number is 24? And it can't be a 9 or an 8. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
7. 7.
Wait a minute. If that's a 7 and this has to be 24, then don't these two have to also add up to 17?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's the only way to make 17?
9 and 8 or 8 and 9.
Wow. And we do not know which one yet. It's got to be 9 and 8 or 8 and 9. Now, who thinks they could figure out which is the next one we should try? And what I'm really looking for here is for you guys to be strategic. Which one is going to kind of have the fewest choices? Brendan, go for it.
D3.
D3.
The line.
Say again.
The line of the D3.
Yeah, but you can say D4 or D5, but D3 we know is either 8 or 9. We don't know which one.
So then D4 would have the least options.
What do you think D4 would have to be?
Let's see. It would either have to be a 4. Well, that's the only thing. Well, yeah, that's the only option. A 4.
Well, if that is a 4 and we need 16, can this be an 8 of 4 and then another 4?
No.
No. So if you are correct and it is a 4, then this has to be a 9. And that's a possibility. But I'm not sure that we know that yet. Tess, what's your idea?
F5, D5 and D5.
You mean F5 and D5. What do you think about those?
They have to be 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, you mean that this one has to be a 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah.
Guys, look at this. Because 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. Now, what happens if this is a 1 in F5? What does F6 have to be? Sabrina, if F5 is a 1, what does F6 have to be? What number plus 1 is 11? Come on, Sabrina, you know this. What plus 1 equals 11?
So,
You want a little help?
yeah.
Okay, Aaron. Come on, Aaron, I want you thinking about this. If I ask somebody else a question, you should be thinking about this. What number plus 1 equals 11?
10.
Of course.
But
We don't have a 10. We don't have a 10. So it can't be a 1. Guess what? We can cross off the 1. What if it's a 2?
You could do a 2 and a 9.
Yes, or a 3 and a what?
8.
Right. It can be either a 2 and a 9 or a 3 and an 8. Now, I think I know which one it is. Can anybody tell me which one it has to be based on E6? What does E6 have to be if F6 is a 9? Tess?
5.
But what does E6 have to be is if F6 is an 8? Jeremy? And Jeremy, you'll have to keep yourself unmuted at all times, please.
6.
Can this be a 6? Sabrina, can that number be a 6?
No.
Why not? Because E5 and E6 add up to
6.
right. So we know it must be a 5 and a 9. We know it must be a 5, 9, right? And if it's a 5, 9, then what do we know about F5? Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
1. 2.
9.
2.
It's got to be a 2. It's got to be a 2. And if it's a 2, we know what this one is. Go.
3.
3. 3 plus 5 is 8. Sabrina, what does E5 have to be?
1.
Right. And Brennan, D5.
Uh, 3.
Excellent. Now, if this is a 3, who can tell me what is 16 take away 3? That's going to be the sum of these two. Say it out loud.
13.
13.
And if this is an 8, what does this have to be to make 13? Come on, 8 plus what is 13?
10.
No, 8 plus 10 is 18. You know that. But 8 plus what is 13? Think 8 plus 2 is 10, and 10 plus 3 is 13. When you put 2 and 3 together, what do you get?
5.
Of course, you get 5. And 9 plus what is 13? Come on, if 8 plus 5 is 13,
4.
then 9 plus 4. Now, does that help us? Do we know the answer?
No.
And I think not yet. Now, we know that this column has to make an 8. This column has to make an 8. Tess, what do you think?
It has to be a 4 because then if it was a, wait, actually, no.
Because if it's a 5, everybody, what do these two boxes have to be?
2 and
1
1.
and 2.
A 1 and 2, or a 2 and a 1. And if this is a 4, what does this have to be?
3 and 1.
3 and a 1.
A 3 and a 1, or a 1 and a 3. Now, let's look across. To make 17, we know we have 16 plus what? Or 15 plus what? Come on. We either have 16 plus what? Or 15 plus what makes 17? Go for it, guys. Whoever wants to take it.
16 plus 1 equals 17, and 15 plus 2 equals 17.
So therefore, we can take away the 3 and the 1, or the 1 and the 3, because there can't be a 3 here. We still don't know which one it is. And now, guess what? We're going to start to focus on 15. What does that have to be? Raise your hand if you know two numbers that make 15. Jeremy, we're going to go with you. And then Aaron, we're going to go with you because there are going to be a couple of choices
9, 6.
to make 15. Come on, Jeremy. What'd you get there, Brent? Jeremy?
9, 6, and 8, and 7.
Oh, 8 and 7, or 7 and 8. Is there any other way to make 15? Say out loud.
9 and 6.
9 and 6, or 6
6
and 9.
But wait a minute. This square, A5, can only be one possible number. Wait, don't say it out loud. Aaron, go. Can A5 be a 9, 6, 7, or 8? Come on, we need a 7 here, so can it be a 9, 6, 7, or 8, which is the only one it can be?
7.
How can it be a 7 to add up to 7? Come on, you know it's got to be less than 7, Aaron.
6.
Absolutely. So therefore, Tess, A5 and A6 are going to be what?
6 and 9.
9. Everybody write that down. 6, 9, 6, 9. Awesome. 6 and 9. Now, everybody give me B5. Go. Come on, guys. Give me a B5.
1.
Give me a B6.
3.
And now you can give me a B4. Come on,
2.
guys. Everybody give me a B4. It must be a 2. And if B4 is a 2, what does C and D have to be?
1 and
4.
5.
No. 1
1
and
and
4.
4.
1 and 4 makes 7. 2
1 and 5.
makes 7. It's got to be 1, and 5. It's got to be 1 and 5. And if it's 1 and 5, what does C3 have to be?
Eight.
8.
I don't agree.
8. 9, 9, 9.
Guys, if it's an 8, it's 15 plus 1 is 16. So it's got to be a
9.
9.
it's a 9 and 8. It's a 9 and 8. And you guys have just completed your first Kakuro puzzle. Pretty amazing. Now, I gave you a very, very easy one to do with your parents, but why don't we do it together? Go to page 2, write out the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then what I want you to do is I want you to try to complete it. And if you do, you can move on to one on page 4. So I'm going to let you guys do this. And as you're doing it, ask me a question. So Sabrina, go to page 2, write the numbers 1 through 9, and complete this. And I want you to raise your hand if you have a question as we're doing it. But I'm not going to write anything down just yet. Aaron, what's your question, buddy?
My mom didn't print out the paper.
Okay. Do you have a printer in your house?
Yeah?
Okay, next time if you could just ask her to do that, that'd be great. Right now, just quickly make the boxes. It's really very simple, Aaron, because all you have to do is make boxes like this. You see that, Aaron, what I just did?
Yeah?
That's all you have to do. And then you can write the numbers right above it. Okay, Sabrina, tell me what you've got going on so far.
So I'm working on the 17.
And what did you get for the 2 combinations?
It's either 8 or 9.
Or
Or 9 or 8.
9 or 8. And you might want to work on this one because it's really easy.
Excuse me.
Yes.
In C1, what does it mean? Like 16 and 3, like it's adding up.
Yeah,
3.
well, there is no C1. So there is only a C2 and C3. And those two squares will be a +3. So the triangle tells you what the sum has to be. So does that make sense, Brennan?
Yeah.
So what has to go here?
A 2 and a 1.
Or
A 1 and a 2.
a 1 and a 2. And oh my gosh, do you guys see the 4? Don't we know what has to go there?
3.
Aaron, can this be a 2 and a 2? Or Jeremy, can this be a 2, 2? So it's got to be a what?
A 3 and a 1.
It's got to be a 3, 1. So this must be a 2, 1. This has to be a 3, 1. Therefore, this has to be a 2, 1. And what can you tell us next? Don't you want to do the 16, guys? Come on, you know you can't do what?
8 and an 8.
You can't do 8 and 8, so it must be what?
An 8 and a 7.
No,
9 and 9.
it must be a 9 and a what?
7.
Right. You can only do 9, 7. You can only do 9, 7. Now, wait a minute. If B1 is 7 and B3 is 3, don't we know what B2 is? Sabrina, what do you get for B2?
5.
Of course. And if that's a 5 and C2 is 2 and that equals 7, what must this one be?
8. 8.
And guess what, guys? You just solved your second Kakuro puzzle. Now, they only get harder. These are the ones we're going to work on. But guess what I gave you? I gave you a 10 by 10 and another 10 by 10. But promise me, you will not try the insane Kakuro. All right? You can't try this because it drove me crazy. It was too difficult. So I highly recommend that you do not do that one because it really was the hardest one. So don't avoid, oh wow, avoid that one. Why don't we, okay, I want you guys to go to page 4. And I want everybody to choose their own puzzle. So go to page 4, choose your own puzzle. And if you have a question, you say, Mr. Kramer, I'm doing puzzle number 3, and I want to know about B3 or, you know, you can ask me questions like that. Yes, Brennan.
I'm doing puzzle number 3, and like, how are you supposed to equal 17 with only two boxes? They only give you 5.
Ah, no, the numbers that you're allowed to use are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Remember, Brennan, when we did this one, even though we only had a 3x3, right? We still were able to use the numbers 1 through 9. Got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great question, Brennan. So Sabrina, do you have a question? Okay. How about you, Jeremy?
Not right now.
Okay. How about you, Aaron?
No.
No? And how about you, Tess?
No.
Good. Who's behind you, Sabrina? Somebody's got their hand up. Okay, I'm going to give you another minute, and then I want to hear what everybody's done. Really kind of excited about this. Okay, guys, are you ready to show me what you have completed? So who would like to share first what they've done? So I'm going to call on everybody. You don't have to be finished, but I want to know what you did and how you did it. All right, go, go, go. Who's going to go first? Tess, you want to go first? Oops, I just lost Tess. How about you, Brennan?
Okay, so I'm not quite done yet, but I was doing puzzle number 3,
Yes.
and well, so to start, I did A2, and that's 4.
And how do you know that that's a 4? Because to make 13, aren't there multiple ways to make 13?
Yeah, yeah, but I just did the 10, then I came back to the 13.
Yeah,
and
but
then
the
now
10, how would you know where all the numbers go? Because there are 4 squares.
Okay,
That's
so I did
really hard.
4, 1, 3. Oh, I see a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to ask you a question, Brennan. Brennan, look at the 3 column right here in C1, D1. You know that 3 has to be what? It can
2
only
and
be
1.
a 1 and a 2, or a 2 and a 1. And this one can only be a 1 and a 2, or a 2 and a 1. Now, what about the 4? You know what that has to be.
Where is
It's C1, C2. So come on, that can only
yeah, 1 and a 3.
right. Therefore, D1 has to be a 2. Okay? Now, if you know that, then you could start thinking about the other ones. What about 8 and 8? What about 8? The E.
Yeah, that's one of them that I didn't get to yet.
Okay. So I want to hear from Sabrina. Can you tell me which one you're working on?
I'm working on number 1.
Excellent. And were you able to fill in any squares?
Just a few.
You have to tell me now.
So for the 17, for
That A3, B3,
yeah,
what does that have to be, sweetheart?
for A3 a 9 and B3 an 8.
And why can it not be 8 and 9?
I don't really know why it can't be 8 and 9.
Because tell me what A4 would be if A3 is a 9. A4 would have to be a what?
A 6.
And if A3 is an 8, then A4 would have to be a
7.
You are awesome. That is right. We do not know which one yet. Now, what's the next one that you tried? Oh, how about this? Did you try the 16?
Not yet.
Oh, because that's a great one. It can only be 9 and 7 because you're not allowed to do 8, 8. So watch this, Sabrina. 9, 7, 7, 9. But guess what? We know this one has to be a what? E3 must be what?
7.
It can't be a 9. So it's got to be a 7. And that was awesome. So that has to be a 7. This has to be a 9. And what about D3?
A 1.
You are awesome. Now keep working. Now, Jeremy, you want to show me what you did?
I only got a few. Well, I know the A.
Which
C
puzzle
was
are you doing, buddy?
I started A3 to B3. I know it could
Tell
be
me,
3, 1,
are you puzzle 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
Thank you. And you did A3 and B3. And what did you get?
I know it has to be 1 or 3, but then I did the 3 column.
And A4 must be a what?
And A4 has to be a 2.
Beautiful.
A3 is 1, and B3 was the 3.
B3. Yes. And did you get anything else?
Well, the 16 could be 7, 9, 9.
You have to give me the coordinates. Are we talking about B1 and C1?
Yeah.
Okay, and that can be only what?
7, 9, or 9, 7. I still didn't find out what to do.
7, 9. Oh, wait a minute. I think we know which one it is. Because if this is 9 and this is 3, doesn't that add up to 12? And you need 2 more boxes to make 13. So that would be too high. So Jeremy, we know that that must be a 7, 9.
And the 1,
What about
and
what
E2 and E3 will be 1 or 2.
Yeah, and what about C3? I'm sorry, C2.
C2, 17, but that's to be 7, but I didn't think about that.
Can't be 7.
No, 8. 8.
8. Very nice. How about you, Aaron?
I did the same as Sabrina.
Say again, buddy.
I did the same as Sabrina.
And did you get any other solutions for number 1?
No.
How about you, Tess? Which one did you try?
3.
And were you able to get any others?
The 10 is 4, 2, 3, and 1.
4, 2, 3, and 1. And what about A3?
9,
And what about B3?
8,
Very nice. And what about B5 and C5?
um,
Doesn't that have to be
1 and 2,
nice? And if that's 1 and 2, then B4 has to be,
3,
and C4 has to be.
4.
Wow. Hey guys, I gotta tell you something. Big round of applause. Promise me you won't try the insane Kakuro. And I want you to really, really enjoy yourself. Whoa, this is not gonna be good. Hold on, a boat just came by at ludicrous speed. Oh boy. That was not good. That was really bad. Okay, so Mr. Kramer is fine. They're not, boats aren't supposed to go fast at all here, and when they do, it's dangerous. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. I'll see you next week, and please send me your puzzles. I can't wait to see everything you create. All right, take care, guys. Bye.